All right, we're sitting down with Charlene from Oakland, California. Charlene, welcome to Desert City.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Excited to have you. Absolutely. How did you get involved with CrossFit?
Actually, my husband got me into it. I played sports in high school, and we kind of would work out after work and stuff like that. And then we joined a CrossFit gym in Miami, actually, CrossFit Yellow Falcon, and fell in love with it. So kept doing it.
So, do you remember the first time you stepped in a CrossFit gym? Can you recount that story?
Oh, yeah.
Felt,
Yeah.
What it was like? What did you do? Did you remember the workout?
We had to do the boot camp version. So Claudia was our coach. She's one of the owners of CrossFit Yellow Falcon. We had like a kettlebell workout. There might have been push-ups. But yeah, I definitely remember it.
That's awesome. And what year was that?
2019.
2019. So, not too long ago. So 5 years doing CrossFit. As you reflect on those last 5 years, what have been the highlights from a personal standpoint, and what have been the highlights from an athletic standpoint, or as you've been competing?
Yeah. I would say from a personal standpoint, getting certain gymnastics movements. That's something that I didn't really grow up doing, right? Bar muscle ups, ring muscle ups. I could do pull-ups in, high school, college, but being able to learn and do those, snatching, clean and jerks. I'd done bench press, back squat, stuff like that, but the Olympic weightlifting was pretty cool. From an athletic standpoint, I would say probably this past couple years have been, I've competed at the Northern California Classic in the elite division the last 2 years. And then this past year, I was about 10 spots out from making it to semifinals. So that's kind of been the goal the last few years. Yeah.
As you think about CrossFit, I'm sure you can attest to this, that it's often more than just a gym. It's often more than just working out. How have you seen your personal life enhanced through doing the sport of CrossFit or being involved with CrossFit?
Oh, yeah. I actually feel like CrossFit is more mental than physical, right? I've learned a lot. I've learned that I'm stubborn. My husband is one of my coaches, and sometimes it's hard with the dynamic, right? But it's going up against the struggles that you might feel after having a bad day after work, or just in general don't want to be in the gym, but you got to show up and put in the work. I definitely have seen a lot of growth mentally through CrossFit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What do you do for a living professionally, and how do you balance that with CrossFit?
Yes. So I'm a physician assistant. I work in obesity medicine. So I work about 3 to 4 days per week. So I don't have a full-time schedule. I'm also our box now. I'm the CrossFit manager, head coach there, and then try and train full-time. So
wow.
It definitely can't. I have to be in San Francisco pretty early. I start at 7 a.m. in the morning, start seeing patients. But then I get done around 3 or 4. But going to bed after going to the gym, settling down, and then waking up early, I think is probably the toughest part, just kind of on the CNS. But I love it. It's a good change of pace. I get to bring a lot of what I've learned and know from CrossFit into nutritional counseling and working with patients trying to lose weight. So it goes both hand in hand. I have patients that notice my physique and the arms sometimes. So they always ask me about it. And so I actually, if I didn't go into obesity medicine, I would have gone into orthopedics. And so a lot of the times I help them try and match up exercise routines, even just offering them some advice there with kind of matching the nutrition. And so most of my clients are trying to lose weight, are more sedentary, but I do get a handful of people that are looking more for body recomposition. And so being able to add in some tips and tricks has been really helpful.
So you're putting a lot of time, you're putting a lot of effort, you're putting a lot of resources into competing, traveling out here to Arizona. Why?
It's
a good question. Why are they doing this?
Yeah. I think it's the challenge, right? We all want something to kind of push for and to challenge ourselves mentally, physically, and you get hooked, you get sucked in, and even on those bad days when you're like, why am I doing this to myself? I wake up every day, I'm sore, I'm hurt, but you just keep coming back for more. And it's the community too, right? It's all of the people at Island Great CrossFit, our box. You get to see them every day. They go through the same struggles. You just make friends.
So why Desert City?
My husband competed at the Monster Games last year, and he really liked how everything was run, and you guys are partners. And so we decided to give this one a chance, and we haven't been to Tempe, Arizona, so yeah, we're excited.
One of the things that we talk about is going through the desert, and the desert has a meaning of perseverance and challenges, persevering through challenges of life. And yes, if you could erase all the stuff that happened, but all the consequences of that, all the things that happened as a consequence of that would also go away, would you take it away?
Yeah.
And 95% of them said no, because what had happened from that was an incredibly beautiful thing. And if they saw something, relationships or something within themselves that was birthed out of tragedy or suffering. Is there anything like that you could maybe speak to, and maybe not necessarily you as something you've gone through, but maybe something that you've maybe journeyed through with somebody else, or maybe somebody that you'd be coaching, and that's going through a struggle themselves? What would you say to them, or what would you say to yourself as you're going through the midst of a hardship or hard time and wanting to get on the other side?
Yeah, that's a deep question. I think that most people have gone through some kind of hardship, whether that's growing up, later in life, struggle trying to get a career job or something. I think that I agree. I've gone through something in my own past, right? And it's made me into the person that I am today. And I think that if you can prove to yourself that you can overcome that, you know that you can do anything, right? It's, and it builds character. You get to know who you are as a person, being able to fight through that and not give up. And yeah, I think more people go through that than it's known, right? You never know what someone is feeling and what someone is going through on a day-to-day basis. So you got to be kind.
Okay. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I think we're good. Yeah,
Cool.
that was a great answer.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you for your
All right.